Today I'm working on this wonderful Honda Civic fuel sending unit, and as you can see it's obviously very rusty because it's been sitting around forever, so the pump's going in the trash. I have a new one, and basically what I'm gonna do is try to refurbish this back, make it best as possible because these are rare to come by, and hopefully we can save this, make it nice, put a new fuel pump on and throw it in the new gas tank that should be arriving shortly. Got this rusty mess all apart, fuel pump's off, now just for the wires and of course the last little bolt stripped, and thank God for these grip clamps, cause hell yeah boy, they got it a little loose, loosey goosey. There it goes, son of a bitch. Good tools, always necessary with this rusty shit. Now the return pipe, it's seriously clogged, there's not getting anything through, so I'm gonna have to soak that, put some air through it, and hopefully it's gonna be unblocked. Then clean all of this up, make it all nice, no rust, so we can put it back in the fuel tank. So I had the fuel sending unit soaked for 2 days and pretty much all the rust came off. It's pretty good, but even the zinc coating and everything came off, so if I clean this up really well and I get rid of all of this, I have to take all of this off. I could get this re-zinced, and it should be good because I can't get a single one of these in Europe. They're not for sale anymore. Like USA has a bunch of them, but they're not really cheap and shipping would kill me. So I'm gonna take all of this off. I started taking this positive wire off. It's like glued in, and then there's like it's attached through because it needs to be shielded with the plastic, so I'm gonna drill that out, take everything off, clean it up. Here's all my fuel sending unit parts, everything is cleaned up and ready. So this is the fuel sending line which comes on here, and it has a banjo bolt through. So on this end it was like this, crimped on, but I decided it would be best if I just cut it off and use a regular hose with a clamp, because that's how my actual fuel line is, that goes through the car. So I just cut it off. If you cut this metal piece off, it's just like regular underneath, so I have to do nothing, just put on a hose and a clamp and clean it up real good. Clean this bad boy up, it's actually pretty good, but I'm gonna get it hot tanked and zinced because, well, I want this to be legit. I don't want this to rust in my tank because I've already invested too much into it. Here's like the power contact, and these are like the O-rings and stuff that shield it, and here's the banjo bolt and some other stuff, so I'm gonna clean that up, save it. Very big parts day, so fuel tank setup for this thing. I bought a fuel tank, it was used, so it was rusty and it's crap. We're gonna go take a look at it. So I'm turning the car to fuel injection. My old one is carb, but it's like back there somewhere, so it doesn't have the fuel pump hole. I bought this used and it's crap, garbage. So I went to look for a new fuel tank, and as it turns out you can't buy any in Europe. This was the last one. I bought it from Germany. It was really expensive, so this is like golden, but I finally got the last one. Also got all the seals with it, which is good. And then we have a brand new fuel pump here. It's like Engitech, fake Polish stuff, whatever. But the fuel strainer is wrong for this gas tank, so I had to order a fuel strainer from USA because you can't buy any in Europe for some reason. The shipping was like twice the price of this. Here's the fuel level sender from my old gas tank. Then I got the pickup assembly. It was really rusty, so got all the rust off, got it zinced with the rest of the stuff, and now we will put it all together. Alright, so the last step before my engine actually goes in, right here, I had to take off the crank pulley. So I could change out the motor mount, this one right here. This is the old one. As you can see, these bolts are differently offset, so, and this like mount is different, so it doesn't fit up there. So this is the EF mount, so this is it. It's on, and now I have to make this cover fit. It's pretty close, but it's good on this side, but I'm gonna have to cut a little bit just there, and it should be good. And that's all I have to modify, and I really want to paint this black because I have some goodies to go here. And yeah, crankshaft pulley, usually a huge bitch. It was on the other engine, on the older one, because it doesn't have like the socket hole. So I made this little contraption. This is like just a piece of steel. This is just like a plumbing piece. It's like 2" and it's exactly 50 millimeters. So you put it in here like so, and then you can just stick a ratchet through, loosen it, and here it is. So I really want to paint this one black too. It's really annoying because it's behind the sprocket, and I don't want to take any of this off, so I'm just gonna like paint it here, the stuff you can see, and then I'll eventually do it legit once the motor get some serious upgrades in the future. But for now it's gonna be fine. I just want to get this in here and running finally. So yeah, we got some cutting to do. The day has come. We're putting this into this finally, so we have all the sorts of contraptions to put it in. I took the wheels off the car and slammed it on the tires so we can get it in much easier. But now that I look at it, I actually need to move that tire because it's gonna be in the way. But okay, it's a good concept, and yes, lifting it now. Alright, so you may notice there's no more engine right here, and oh yes, yesterday the battery on the camera ran out because it was way late. We were getting this in. It was a little pain in the ass, but it's finally in. Took forever, but here it is. Fits in perfectly. Just had to use all the old mounts of the EF engine, and it's an EF tranny, and everything else works perfectly. It's a tight fit because of the crank pulley, because it's a newer model. It has AC and power steering, so it's wider, so it was very annoying to get in. And as you can see, of course we scratched the paint on my engine bay, obviously, but I'm gonna touch that up, whatever. At least it's in. Now the biggest thing today is a wiring mess. I have to take all this wiring off, then I have to wire my OBD0 wiring harness to the OBD2 connectors on this engine. So that's gonna be a lot of fun. Let's get started. Starting to pull off all of this, then the new wiring. Got the injectors plugged in. Here's the wires for each injector, and here is power for all the injectors. I took this out of the OBD2 harness. I tore up the old OBD2 harness, took the entire wires for the injectors out, and reused it, and it's going through. Now I just need to figure out wires. This is my OBD0 to OBD1, because I'm running OBD1 ECU, and I just need to figure out the injector wires. I believe they're the first ones here, like 1, 2, 3 and 7 or something like that, and wire those few wires in. And then I'm gonna reuse the old dual point injection wires for power. I'm just gonna cut them, wire those 4 to that, and injectors are ready. This is what I have for a distributor. This is the OBD2 plug. The trick is this is dual point harness, so it's missing 2 wires for the crank position sensor, which I have to wire in yet, but that's coming soon. Here's the interior wiring. This is my conversion harness, of course. Here goes OBD1 ECU, OBD0 wiring harness. But my harness is dual point injection, so I had to do some cutting some new wires because I needed to wire in crank and cylinder position sensors, and which they are now. And I got my injectors here, each separate, so that's good. Later I just have to like plug this in there, plug everything in, fuel pump and stuff. We'll do that later. This is my engine, so wired in the distributor. These are the extra wires I need to run because dual point injection doesn't have them. Most of other stuff like plugs in, like these temperature sensors. I put a different alternator wire in from the OBD2 because it's longer. The map sensor plugs in, and the throttle position sensor, you have to switch around the wires, the outer wires. We got this thing in the garage now, and look what we have here. I want to grind off some rust from underneath here, just like the little stuff on the frame rails before I put the fuel tank on, so I can put undercoating on. My fuel tank's there, it's drying also with undercoating. I also put on the exhaust, like the manifold, and I connected the shift linkage, which was a pain, of course, Honda bitch pin, everybody knows that. So got the exhaust on, so that's good. Yeah, I'm gonna grind that stuff down and then undercoating, then we can finally put that on. Here's my awesome fuel tank, underbody coating all over it. Also put undercoating on all the nuts, just like factory. It's got some resin on, so when you try to take this off, no, the bolts are rusty. And under here, oh, let me get in here. Oh. But down here, we have all the rust undercoated. Went over it with a brush, of course. Got the straps, just need the hardware, and then we can put it on. And then also you have to put the wires through here, which may be a little pain, but okay, it's fine. I can't believe it, but finally here it is. Install the fuel tank, straps on, put some ceramic grease on these threads so they won't rust. Got everything plumbed up, all is good. Used some zip ties, of course. There's a plastic cover that goes over all of this, so I'm gonna install that later. Not now, I don't even know where it is. So undercoated, fuel tank, brand new, everything. So it's getting dark enough for today, and tomorrow we're gonna try to start this beast after I do a few other things.
Oh, yes! Boys! Boys! The engine runs not perfectly, but it does! Success! Success! Woo!
So there you go, it works. After like, it's almost half a year since I bought this car and this engine. And now it's together and it works, so it's pretty awesome. All I had to do was this wire power to the injectors. I had to put it on some 12 volt because it didn't get power to the old wires, so whatever, put it on 12 volts. And I wired in the pump on just some random 12 volts and it fired right up. So that's awesome. And actually runs pretty great considering I don't even have the O2 plugged in, because I think I'm gonna need a 4-wire O2. And there's no intake, there's no air intake, air temp sensor, whatever. So that's it. Now for a wire tuck and other things up front. Oh, and don't forget, you can buy these shirts now. It says it's always something, and of course it's always something like this, so if you want one, we're gonna get pre-orders, so comment, DM us, whatever, and we're gonna make this happen. So thanks for watching.